I heard this week that AOL might be buying Yahoo. I love it. That's so sweet. It's like when two people in a nursing home start dating. They may not have much time left, but at least they'll have each other. I love it.
We're back. John Mulaney appearing on SNL's Weekend Update. That was actually back in 2010, back when he was a writer at Saturday Night Live. Since then, he has hosted that show 6 times. He's had a string of hit comedy specials, and now John Mulaney finds himself back on Broadway, all in. It's a comedy about love. It's a series of short stories on dating, heartbreak, and more, and it's told by this rotating star-studded cast. Just opened last night. Congratulations.
Right. Thank you very much.
So, for folks who aren't familiar with the concept, sort of explain what this is.
Well, All In is a series of short stories that my good friend and our playwright Simon Rich wrote. Now, he and I used to work at Saturday Night Live right across the street together for years. And these are his prose stories from his books put together in a show where myself and right now Richard Kind, Fred Armisen, Renee Elise Goldsberry perform them. They're an eclectic mix of things, you know, like different time periods, different types of people, but all basically stories of characters looking for love or trying to keep love alive or being pirates.
Most folks watching, listening probably know you for your brilliant stand-up comedy.
Thank you.
I mean, like, legit. I'm not just saying that because you're sitting right here. Brilliant stand-up comedy.
I think so, too.
How is this different for you as a performer than what we're seeing right there?
These have a lot of heart in them. And it's not like I'm vicious as a stand-up comic, but these have a lot more sentiment in them than I might do on stage normally. And that's incredibly fun to do. I mean, Simon's a hilarious writer, so they're still like, you know, they're still extremely funny. But there's a real, you really get to know the characters in each of them, and you really get invested in them. And that's like a hard thing to pull off in short comedy pieces, but he's really done it.
All roads appear to lead back to Lorne Michaels in entertainment.
That's what they say.
He's the producer of this Broadway show.
He is, yeah.
When you were a writer there, I read recently that you probably wrote somewhere in the neighborhood of at least 250, 300 sketches as an SNL writer.
Yeah, at least, sure.
Is there a sketch that did not get on, that looking back on it now, John Mulaney wishes that had gotten on SNL?
There were many. What happened was I started to get to host, and so, especially ones I wrote with Simon, we would resurrect and put on the air.
Yeah.
Like one is called the sketch is called the Dignity Toilet, but it's an ad for something called the Toilet Death Ejector. I'll walk you through it, and I'll keep it clean. But let's say you feel yourself dying on the toilet, one of the great humiliations of the air.
That would be one of the worst ways to go.
This has an ejector seat that launches you. You feel yourself dying, you hit it, you fly out of the room, you land in bed, and a book falls on your chest, so it looks like you died peacefully in your sleep reading.
I can't believe that didn't make it on.
I know, and also it was so expensive to make, and yet they still weren't interested.
I want to read your resume, because again,
please.
2 Broadway shows, SNL 6 times, you've hosted a talk show, you voiced a Spider-Man character as well. What has John Mulaney not done that he still wants to do?
I've never dove into a pool. I can't dive, and I tried to learn this summer, and it was a totally unmitigated disaster. And my son was 2 years old at the time, watched his father just belly flop into a pool. Everyone was saying, lean over and point your hands and don't worry, and then just fall in. And then they were saying, no, use your knees a little. And I was just stiff-leggedly falling right into a swimming pool. No grace to it, no art to it, and certainly a painful experience.
You're going to keep at it, though. You're going to keep trying.
I'm going to keep at it, and that's what I tell kids. Is,
Practice makes perfect.
Every single day, no matter the weather, try to dive into a pool.
I want to ask you something. You just met a kid here. His name's Tyler Brain. His dad helps run the show here. He's 19 years old. He's a budding comic himself. He noticed something about your social media, and I want to call your attention to it and see if you'll explain this. Of the folks that you follow on X, there we are. There's you follow the U.S. Secret Service and your Broadway show. That's it.
And only recently do I follow the Broadway show. Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I like that the Secret Service has a social media account. I just was kind of delighted by the fact that they're called the Secret Service, and then they still post like, here we are, you know, we're all at Chili's. Come down and see us if you want, tagging themselves and things. So I thought they'd be a good one to follow, and they're much more active than you think. No reels. I wish they did reels. If you're watching, and you probably are.
Yeah.
I hope you do reels.
Okay. John, thank you.
Hey, thank you.
Thanks, and come back anytime.
Oh, I will. Happy holidays, my friend.
How's your wife, by the way?
She's doing good.
She's doing well.
She's doing good. Yeah, kids are great, too.
John Mulaney, if you're in town, be sure to catch All In. It is now open at the Hudson Theater, Broadway. If you see John Mulaney trying to dive into a pool, also, help him.
Help him.
Help John.
Help him.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't miss the Today Show every weekday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific on our streaming channel, Today All Day. To watch, head to today.com/allday or click the link right here.